Hello learners, I am Dr. Arvind Kumar Yadav, HOD in Faculty of Commerce in Government PG College, Badalpur. Today, we are discussing about chapter number 9, that is banking services. Now, let us start from meaning of bank. Bank is a lawful organization which accepts deposit that can be withdrawn on demand. It also lends money to individuals and business houses that need it. Banks also render money other useful services like collection of bills, payment of foreign bills, safe keeping of jewelries, other valuable items, certifying the creditworthiness of business and so on. Banks give two assurances to the depositors: A. Safety of deposits, and B. Withdrawals of deposits whenever needed. On deposits, bank give interest which adds to the original amount of deposits. Banks also charge fees for the various other services which they render to the business community and public in general. Dear learners, now I will tell about some differences between banks and money lenders. First is entity. Entity: banks are organized institutions while money lenders are individuals. Second, activity. Banking activities include acceptance of deposits as lending of money, while activities of money lenders may not include acceptance of deposit. Third difference is clients. Banks meet the needs of people in general and the business community in particular. Money lenders meet the needs of agriculturalists and poor people. Fourth point of difference is security. Banks accept tangible and personal security against loans, while money lenders generally accept gold, jewelry or land as security for giving loans. Fifth point of difference is process of recovery of loans. In banks, the process of recovery is flexible, and in case of money lenders, the process of recovery is rigid and strict. Sixth point of difference is interest rate. Interest charged by banks on loan is governed by RBI, while rate of interest is decided by money lenders and is normally very high. Learners, now I will move on role of banking. Banks provide funds for the business and play a vital role in the development of nation. Let us know about the role of banking. First, it encourages saving habits amongst people and thereby makes funds available for productive use. Next, it acts as an intermediary between people having surplus money and those requiring money for various business activities. It facilitates business transactions through receipts and payments by checks instead of currency. It provides loans and advances to businessmen for short term and long term purposes. It also facilitates import export transactions. It helps in nation development by providing credit farmers, small scale industries and self employed people, as well as to large business houses, which leads to balanced economic development in the country. It helps in raising the standard of living of people in general by providing loans for purchase of consumer durable goods, houses, automobiles, etc. Now, let us start types of banks. Learners, there are various types of banks which operate in our country to meet the financial requirements of different categories of people engaged in agriculture, business, profession, etc. On the basis of functions, the banking institutions in India may be divided into the following types. First is central bank, second is commercial banks, third is development banks, fourth is specialized banks. Now, let us start from central bank, a bank which is entrusted with the functions of guiding and regulating the banking system of a country is known as central bank. Such a bank does not ideal with the general public. It acts essentially as government's bank, maintain deposit accounts of all other banks and advances money to other banks when needed. The central bank provides guidance to other banks whenever they face any problem. It is therefore known as bankers' bank. The Reserve Bank of India is the central bank of our country. The central bank maintains records of government revenue and expenditure under various heads. The second bank is commercial banks. Commercial banks are banking institutions which accept deposits and grant short term loans and advances to their consumers. In addition to giving short term loans, commercial banks also give medium term and long term loan to business enterprises. Nowadays, some of the commercial banks are also providing housing loan on a long term basis to individuals. Types of commercial banks. Commercial banks are of three types, that is public sector banks, private sector banks and foreign banks. First one is public sector banks. These are banks where majority stake is held by the Government of India or Reserve Bank of India. Examples of public sector banks are State Bank of India, Corporation Bank, Bank of Baroda, Punjab National Bank, Canara Bank, Bank of India and Oriental Bank of Commerce, etc. Second is private sector bank. In case of private sector banks, majority of share capital of the bank is held by private individuals. These banks are registered as companies with limited liability. Third is foreign banks. These banks are registered and have their headquarters in a foreign country for operate their branches in our country. The number of foreign banks operating in our country has increased since the financial sector reforms of 1991. Third category of banks is development banks. Business often require medium and long term capital for purchase of machinery and equipment, for using latest technology or the expansion and modernization. Such financial assistance is provided by development banks. They also undertake banks comprises 19 nationalized bank and State Bank of India and its 7 associated banks subscribing to the share and debentures issued by companies in case of under subscription of the issue by the public. Industrial Finance Corporation of India IFCI and State Financial Corporation SFCs are examples of development bank in India. Next category is cooperative banks. A cooperative bank is a financial entity which belongs to its members who are at the same time the owners and the customers of their bank. Cooperative banks are often formed by persons belonging to the same local or professional community or sharing a common interest. Cooperative banks generally provide a wide range of banking and financial services to their members, people who come together to jointly serve their common interest, often from cooperative society under the Cooperative Societies Act. When a cooperative society engages itself in banking business, it is called a cooperative bank. The society has to obtain a license from the Reserve Bank of India before starting banking business. Any cooperative bank as a society has to function under the overall supervision of the registrar, cooperative society of the state. As regards banking business, the society must follow the guidelines issued by the Reserve Bank of India. Types of cooperative banks. There are 3 types of cooperative banks operating in our country. They are primary credit societies, central cooperative banks and state cooperative banks. These banks are organized at 3 levels: village or town level, district level and state level. Next category is specialized banks. There are some banks which cater to requirements and provide overall support for setting up business in specific areas of activity. Exim Bank, SIDBI and NABARD are examples of such banks. They engage themselves in some specific area or activity and thus are called specialized banks. Dear learners, now let us move on functions of commercial banks. The functions of commercial banks can be classified into two types. First is primary functions and second is secondary functions. Let us start from primary functions. This is a main function which is performed compulsorily by every bank, or we can say that the organization which performs these functions is known as banks. The primary functions of a commercial banks include: first, accepting deposit, second, granting loans and advances. First is accepting deposit. The most important activity of a commercial bank is to mobilize deposits from the public. People who have surplus income and savings find it convenient to deposit the same with banks. Depending upon the nature of deposits, fund deposited with bank also earn interest. Thus, deposits with the bank grow along with the interest earned. If the rate of interest is higher, public are motivated to deposit more funds with the bank. There is also safety of funds deposited with the banks. The second important function of commercial bank is to grant loans and advances. Such loans and advances are given to the members of the public and to the business community as a higher rate of interest than allowed by banks on various deposit accounts. Now, let us move on the types of advances. Bank grant short term financial assistance by way of cash credit, overdraft and bill discounting bill of exchange. Let us learn about these. First is cash credit. Cash credit is an arrangement whereby the bank allows the borrower to draw amount up to a specified limit. The amount is credited to the account of the customer. The customer can withdraw this amount as and when he requires. Interest is charged on the amount actually withdrawn. Cash credit is granted as per terms and conditions agreed with the customers. B. Overdraft. Overdraft is also a credit facility granted by bank. A customer who has a current account with the bank is allowed to withdraw more than the amount of credit balance in his account. It is temporary arrangements. Overdraft facility with a specified limit may be allowed either on the security of assets or personal security or both. Third is discounting bill of exchange. Banks provide short term finance by discounting bills, that is making payment of the amount before the due date of the bills after deducting a certain rate of discount. The party gets the funds without waiting for the date of maturity of bills. In case any bill is dishonored on the due date, the bank can recover the amount from the customer. Second are secondary functions of banks. In addition to the primary functions of accepting deposits and lending money, banks perform a number of other functions which are called secondary functions. Those are: first, issuing letter of credit, traveller's check, etc. Second, undertaking safe custody of valuable important documents and securities by providing safe deposit vaults or lockers. Third, providing customers with facilities of foreign exchange dealing. Next, transferring money from one account to another and from one branch to another branch of the bank through check, pay order or demand draft. Fifth, standing guarantee on behalf of its customers for making payment for purchase of goods, machines, vehicles, etc. Dear learners, now let us start types of banks accounts. First is saving bank account, second is current deposit account, third is fixed deposit account, fourth is recurring deposit account. Let us briefly discuss the nature of the above account. Let us start from saving bank account. If a person has limited income and wants to save money for future needs, the saving bank account is the most suited for this purpose. This type of account can be opened with a minimum initial deposit that varies from bank to bank. Money can be deposited anytime in this account. Withdrawals can be made either by signing a withdrawal form or by issuing a check or by using ATM card. Normally, banks put some restriction on the number of withdrawals from this account. Interest is allowed on the balance of deposit in this account. Second is current deposit account. Big businessmen, companies and institutions such as schools, colleges and hospitals have to make payment through their bank accounts. Since there are restrictions on number of withdrawals from saving bank account, that type of account is not suitable for them. They need to have an account from which withdrawals can be made many number of times. Banks open current account for them. Like saving bank account, this account also requires certain minimum deposit while opening the account. On this deposit, bank does not pay any interest on the balances. Rather, the account holder pays certain amount or interest each year as operational charges. For the convenience of the account holders, banks also allow withdrawals of amounts in excess of the balance of deposit. This facility is known as overdraft facility. It is allowed to some specific customers and up to a specified limit subject to previous agreement with the banks concerned. Next is fixed deposit account. This account is also known as term deposit account. Many a time people want to save money for long period. If money is deposited in saving bank account, bank allows a lower rate of interest. Therefore, money is deposited in a fixed deposit account to earn a interest at a higher rate. This type of deposit account allows deposit to be made of an amount for a specified period. This period of deposit may range from 15 days to 3 years or more, during which no withdrawal is allowed. However, on request, the depositor can encash the amount before its maturity. In that case, banks give lower interest than what was agreed upon. The interest on fixed deposit account can be withdrawn at certain interval of time. At the end of period, the deposit may be withdrawn or renewed for a future period. Banks also grant loan on the security of fixed deposit receipt. The last type of account is recurring deposit account. This type of account is suitable for those who can save regularly and expect to earn a fair return on deposits over a period of time. While opening the account, a person has to agree to deposit a fixed amount once in a month of a certain period. The total deposit along with the interest therein is payable on maturity. However, the depositor can also be allowed to close the account before its maturity and get back the money along with the interest till that period. The account can be opened by a person individually or jointly or with other, or by the guardian in the name of a minor. The rate of interest allowed on the deposits is higher than that on a saving bank deposit, but lower than the rate of interest on fixed deposit for the same period. Our last section is e-banking, that is electronic banking. E-banking is defined as the automated delivery of new and traditional banking products and services directly to customers through electronic interactive communication channels. First is automated teller machine. A machine at a bank branch or other location which enable a customer to perform basic banking activities even when the bank is closed. Banks have now installed their own automated teller machine ATM throughout the country at convenient locations. By using this, customers can deposit or withdraw money from their own account at any time. Second is debit card, a card which allows customers to access their funds immediately electronically. Banks are now providing debit cards to their customers having saving or current account in the banks. The customer can use this card for purchasing goods and services at different places in lieu of cash. The amount paid through debit card is automatically debited to the customer's account. Second is credit card. A credit card issued by the financial company giving the holder an option to borrow funds, usually at point of sale. Credit cards charge interest and are primarily used for short term financing. Interest usually begins 1 month after a purchase is made and borrowing limits are preset according to the individual's credit rating. Credit cards are issued by the bank to persons who may or may not have an account in the bank. Just like debit card, credit cards are used to make payments for purchase so that the individual does not have to carry cash. Banks allow certain credit period to the credit card holder to make payment of the credit amount. Interest is charged if a cardholder is not able to pay back the credit extended to him within a stipulated time period. The interest rate charges generally quite high. Net banking. The internet provides a secure medium for transferring funds electronically between bank accounts and also for making banking transactions over the internet. All business activities that are conveniently carried by the visiting a bank can now be done through a computer with internet access. Credit card transactions are a form of internet banking. With internet banking, you can not only view your account balance, but also open a fixed deposit, transfer funds, pay your electronic or electricity bill, telephone or mobile phone bills and much more. Presently, through net banking, you can view not only your bank account, but also your accounts in other banks. So, you can actually view your bank accounts in different banks at the same time on your screen. Last is phone banking, a system in which customers can access their accounts and a variety of banking services up to 24 hours a day by telephone, or it is facility enabling customers to make use of banking services such as oral payment transactions, account movements, raising loans, etc., over the telephone rather than personal visit. In case of phone banking, a customer of a bank having an account can get information of his account, make banking transactions like fixed deposit, money transfers, demand draft, collection of payments of bills, etc., by using telephone. As more and more people are using mobile phones, mobile banking is possible throughout mobile phones. In mobile phone, a customer can receive and send message from and to the bank in addition to all the functions possible through phone banking. So, now learners, you have a better idea about banks, types of banks and electronic banking including debit and credit card. So, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thank you.